Hey guys, we've all been there, waking up after a fun night, heads pounding, cotton mouth. But what's really happening in your body during a hangover?
We're gonna break it all down for you and tell you the best ways to cure and prevent a hangover. A hangover is a combination of symptoms caused by the body processing alcohol, leading to dehydration, fatigue, headaches, nausea, and so much more.
So there's three primary causes for why hangovers happen. First, dehydration. So alcohol is actually a diuretic, so it causes you to pee a lot and lose a lot of fluid.
Hey, look everybody, Billy peed his pants.
Of course I peed my pants. Everybody my age pees their pants. It's the coolest.
So the second reason, toxic byproducts. So when your liver breaks down the alcohol, it actually produces something called acetaldehyde, which is highly toxic and contributes to hangover symptoms. And the third cause is electrolyte and vitamin imbalance. Alcohol consumption depletes vitamins and minerals in your body, which disrupts various bodily functions, causing hangover feelings.
Age, genetics, body weight, all sorts of different things factor into how bad you feel after you drink. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around all of it. So we're gonna go scientific today. We're gonna get crazy.
If you couldn't tell.
That's why we got these lab coats,
Yep.
all right? These have been hard earned. These lab coats, all right? You guys don't know this, but we spent 13 years doing absolutely nothing but drinking alcohol, and then we went to Amazon and bought ourselves some lab coats.
So we are scientists for the day.
Yes.
If you're an actual scientist out there, please don't comment.
Tip number 1, eat before you drink. Drinking on an empty stomach allows alcohol to absorb quickly into the bloodstream, intensifying its effects. Food, especially fatty or protein-rich meals, slows down the absorption.
Yep.
And when we say fatty, we're talking about healthy fats. So how do you apply it? You eat a balanced meal with some fat and protein before heading out, all right? So make sure you do that. Make that part of your religious experience when you're gonna go drink.
Let it absorb that alcohol, so it gives you sort of a buffer for your stomach.
Foods like avocado toast, nuts, or cheese platters are great because they're easily accessible. That's
Right.
something that you could go get. Sometimes you go to parties and you're drinking and there are cheese platters available. You start chewing those things down.
Yeah.
You know, get some cheese in you.
Go right for the cheese platter.
Yes, exactly.
Right for it.
Exactly.
Beeline. Don't even say hi to anybody. Just go to the cheese platter and then start drinking.
Got any cheese?
All right, tip number 2. Use supplements or remedies where science supports. So certain supplements like B vitamins and prickly pear extract have actually shown some pretty good promise in research for reducing hangover severity. So alcohol consumption depletes B vitamins because the body uses them to process the alcohol. B vitamins also play a key role in energy metabolism. So some people take these B vitamins before or after drinking, sometimes both. I would recommend both.
I take electrolytes like liquid IV before I drink and after I drink. Usually before I go to bed.
Yeah.
I always take a glass of liquid IV and it helps tremendously the next day.
Smart.
Yeah, especially if you have kids and you know you have to wake up and go to baseball practice or football practice and stuff like that, and you want to go about your business. The best way to do it is take it before and after, whether it's vitamin B, electrolytes, or prickly pear.
Yeah. So prickly pear is interesting because it contains anti-inflammatories and antioxidants, and it's one of the few scientifically supported hangover aids out there. If you have prickly pear extract or even prickly pears in your area, like sometimes we have here in Texas, try it out for a hangover remedy.
So some of the products that we have used in the past and we continue to use, they are linked to our description.
Yeah,
but-
it's a small affiliate link, but
Yeah.
we've linked all of these hangover cures, if you will, in the description below.
So I just want to point out that none of the options that we're providing here are sponsors of ours. We're just saying it because we're the ones that use it for ourselves and
Yeah.
it's working for us.
All right, moving on to tip number 3. You want to try to avoid sugary mixers. So sugar actually helps to speed up alcohol absorption and can actually lead to blood sugar crashes. And it can make you feel really, really bad the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yep.
We've all drank those. How many Blue Long Islands did I drink in my college days?
So instead, when you're choosing mixers, opt for things like soda water or tonic and even low sugar cocktails. If you enjoy something sweet, maybe stick to natural juices that at least have some vitamins and minerals.
So here's a pro tip. I'm a big fan of old fashions. I like to order them whenever we're out and about. I always ask them for less simple syrup. Reason being that the simple syrup obviously is a lot of sugar and water combined. If you cut down on that, you have a little bit less sugar. And honestly, it won't really affect your drink that much.
Right.
It won't be as sweet. Maybe you'll taste the whiskey a little bit more. but it's not gonna really kill it for you. Or if you're in a location that has it, I would say replace the simple syrup with agave. Yeah.
That's a good pro tip.
Agave is a sweetener that doesn't affect your bloodstream the same way that sugar does. So it's a better way for you to avoid having sugary drinks while still having that sweetness.
Nice.
Not every place has it, but if they do have it, definitely ask if you can mix it with agave rather than simple syrup.
So these sugary drinks, they help to mask the taste of alcohol. So because of that, you may end up drinking more without realizing it, and that can lead to a worse hangover.
Yes.
So do try to avoid those sugary mixers if you can.
Yeah, that's probably one of the better tips we got. Avoid those suckers.
All right, so what do we got next, Eddie?
We got tip number 4. Get enough sleep. So this sounds like common sense, but alcohol disrupts your sleep cycles.
Yep.
Particularly the REM sleep, which is crucial for feeling rested and refreshed.
Right.
A lack of sleep can intensify the hangover symptoms. All right, so best thing to do, if you know you're gonna be drinking, plan for a night where you could sleep in, where you could get some rest. Maybe you could take a nap or two in between, if that's possible. If you have a day where it allows that for you, take a nap, and you'll be feeling better in no time. Alcohol can lead to early waking, making it hard to fall back asleep, which is why sleep debt from drinking feels especially rough.
Next up, tip number 5, know your limits. All right, we're really trying to help out our liver here. So drinking beyond your tolerance level is really gonna put an extra strain on it, and it can increase the risk of severe hangovers.
Yeah, among many other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as with anything else in life, moderation's key.
Yes.
Know your limits. And if you're not sure exactly what your limit is, pay attention to some of the cues that your body gives you. For example, you could start feeling warm or flushed, lightheaded, slower reaction times, or mood changes.
So I will tell you something that I tell my kids. Listen to your Jiminy Cricket. Yeah. So whenever, there it is.
There's Jiminy.
Good old Jiminy.
Hey.
You have to listen to that voice in your head. You have to listen. Sometimes your body, not only your body, but your head is telling you, dude, stop, slow down a little bit. You're taking it too far. And we tend to not listen.
Yeah.
Listen to that voice in your head that's a little bit wiser than you are at that very moment.
So one rule of thumb here is try to stick to a max of 1 drink per hour. Okay. This allows your body to process it without putting that extra strain and overwhelming your system.
Tip number 6, avoid binge drinking. Right? So it kind of leads back to what you were saying before about knowing your limits.
Yep.
So when you drink large quantities in a short period of time, it overwhelms your liver and it delays the alcohol processing. So it results in worse symptoms the next day. So set a limit for yourself before you start drinking. All right? And try to pace yourself with each drink. The goal is to enjoy, but enjoy responsibly. So don't binge drink. Don't get crazy. Don't drink too much too quickly. Speed does not help you in this case. Slower drinking means less of a shock to your system.
That's always a good thing.
And we want your system to be not shocked. We want to love your system. We want to give it hugs. This lab coat made me weird.
Yeah.
Weird and frisky, you know? Hey,
Oh my God.
hey, it's one of those days.
Put your hands above the table, please. All right, on to tip 7. And this one might seem like the most obvious, but we're going to tell you anyway. Stay hydrated. Okay. But why?
You tell me, Ryan.
Why do you want to stay
You're
hydrated?
the scientist from Amazon. Go ahead.
So like we mentioned before, alcohol is a diuretic. So that means it increases urine production, leads to dehydration, and dehydration is what contributes to the hangover symptoms like headaches and dizziness.
Yeah, they'll suck.
Thank you, Dr. Eddie. So ideally, you want to drink a glass of water between every drink. So before bed, you probably also want to drink another glass or 2 for good measure.
That's important.
Yeah. Adding electrolytes like sports drinks or even coconut water can replenish the minerals lost and may even reduce the hangover severity even more effectively.
That's my biggest trick. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I drink electrolytes before I drink and after I drink. And I think it's incredibly important, especially when you're getting up there. Once you start reaching your late 30s, early 40s and beyond, drinking alcohol, you're gonna feel it the next day. All right, so the best thing to do is take things before and after you drink so you can feel better the next day. Green tea and soda water have also been shown to boost your alcohol metabolism and prevent alcohol-related damage to the liver. And this is according to a 2016 study from PubMed Central. So this is not just Amazon Dr. Eddie talking here. This is real doctors saying this to you guys. Green tea and soda water. All right, so tip number 8. The morning after recovery. We've already been there. We drank. We wake up the next day. What do? You have to rehydrate. You have to eat nutritious foods. Working out helps a lot too, believe it or not. And you just manage your pain symptoms however you can. And that will alleviate the hangover pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You start your day by drinking water, or even a sports drink. And then you eat a hearty breakfast. I love eating eggs for breakfast, especially after I drink. That to me is a must-do.
Yep.
Because eggs actually contain cysteine. And cysteine helps break down the acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde.
Acetaldehyde.
There you go.
Yeah.
So here's another thing that I do. I like to work out the day after I drink. And that sounds counterintuitive.
Sure does.
And it doesn't feel great at first, but once you're in the process of doing it, believe it or not, it makes you feel good. And here's the reason why. So exercise boosts your endorphin levels, and it also helps improve your mood. It also helps you with increased circulation. So that helps you get the stuff flushed out and through your bloodstream. And as long as you make sure you stay hydrated while you're working out, you're gonna feel great.
You know, I've always heard that working out is supposed to boost your mood. I run 3 times a week, and I have never once felt good after a run.
Because running sucks.
It sure does. Tip number 9, avoid the hair of the dog.
Oh, that dirty dog.
Now, some of you are like, what the hell is that? What is the hair of the dog? For those that aren't familiar with this phrase, this comes from the longer expression, the hair of the dog that bit you, which is actually a folk belief where people believe that the best cure for hangover is to drink more alcohol. So I always like knowing where certain phrases come from, and hair of the dog is kind of a unique one. Did you know this saying actually dates back to medieval times? It was about treating rabid dog bites. Yeah, people believe that putting the hair from the rabid dog that bit someone into the wound would cure the rabies.
And a lot of people died. They should have had Amazon doctors back in those days.
If only they had this video to tell them that was a terrible idea. So drinking more alcohol the next day only temporarily numbs the hangover symptoms. So it boosts your blood alcohol level. So what it does is it delays rather than prevents the inevitable,
Yeah.
the dirty hangover. So what you want to do instead of that is hydrate, eat, and rest. Those are the 3 keys.
Yes.
Do not drink more, because that's just going to make it worse later. Just let your body naturally process the remaining alcohol, and then you'll feel better in no time.
All right. So we got to the myth busting part of the video. And this is also going to help you guys because you might think that this is the way to go.
Right.
This is going to help you and this is going to fix and relieve your symptoms of alcohol, of hangovers. But it's not. And we'll tell you why.
So what's our first myth?
The first myth is coffee sobers you up.
I always thought this was true.
No. Well, here's the thing. You're going to feel a little bit more alert. You're going to be a little bit more energetic. But you're not going to necessarily feel better. And here's the reason why. Because caffeine is a stimulant, it masks the drowsiness and it can help improve the alertness. But it doesn't affect the blood alcohol concentration, which is what is the root cause of the hangover to begin with.
Right.
So that's not going to really help. And on top of that, coffee is a diuretic. So it's going to make your dehydration worse. All right, Ryan, hit us with the next myth. What do you got here?
Myth number 2.
Let's do this.
Just when you think you're going to feel better by puking, it will not help
Ooh.
with the hangover.
Oh my gosh, all those times that I thought that it was going to help me.
Nope.
Why didn't anybody tell me? Oh my God, my insides are on fire!
Who wants chowder?
So the reality is, once the alcohol is in your bloodstream, it's too late for puking to make a difference. So it may make you feel temporarily better by clearing out everything that's in your stomach, but it doesn't reduce the amount of alcohol that's already in your system. So because alcohol is absorbed into the bloodstream pretty quickly, after 15 to 20 minutes, it starts affecting your body. So once it's in your blood, then it's your liver's job to process it.
Yeah.
So vomiting could relieve some of the nausea, but it won't lower the BAC in your body.
So this is actually my favorite myth. Are you ready for my favorite myth?
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh, I'm just giddy at the idea of sharing it with everybody.
I can tell.
I'm so excited. All right, so myth number 3. Mixing drinks causes a worse hangover. So how many times have you heard liquor before beer, we're in the clear?
Right?
Beer before liquor, never been sicker. Who's ever heard that?
That's how everybody pretty much lives their life when they drink.
But that's wrong. So here's the reality. All right, the combination of drinking different types of alcohols, it does not worsen a hangover. All right, so feel free to drink beer before liquor, liquor before beer, it won't matter.
Yep.
All right, what's important is the amount of alcohol consumed. However, mixing drinks can make it harder to track how many drinks you've actually had, how much alcohol you've actually consumed, and that is what's going to lead to a worse hangover. So there you have it, guys. That is how you prevent a hangover. All right. So whether it's staying hydrated, eating before you drink, or just pacing yourself, each tip here plays a role in keeping you feeling better. So make sure you take all our tips, you listen to them, and you apply them.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the best way to avoid a hangover is moderation.
Absolutely.
Just know your limits. Stick to the tips we've given you here, and you'll be good. So if you found these tips helpful, let us know your own favorite hangover remedies or preventions. And don't forget, in the description below, we've provided a link to our favorite remedies that we use personally.
They're not our sponsors, but if you do click on that link and you buy from there, it would help our channel just a little bit. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe. Let your friends know about us. If they like whiskey, we like them. And if we like them, we will give them hugs.
All right, guys, until next time, cheers.